learning to fly on one of the flight simulators at RAF Finningley near Doncaster in South Yorkshire. Glynn Pout is an engineer who services the computers that control it.
I've been interested in computers ever since the first home computers were on sale. I work with computers now, and it's a race at work to see who can have the quickest and newest computer. Also, now and in the future there'll be the opportunities to link up via the internet with other computer users who have the same interests as you do.
The internet is an expanding network which currently links 4 million computers worldwide. It was first set up as a means of communication for the US Defense Department. The strength of it is that it's almost impossible to destroy. If one route for a message is closed down, it simply finds another. In the 1980s, scientists took over the system, using it to exchange research information. Now, though, anyone with a computer and a device like this, a modem that connects it to a telephone line, can have access to the internet. Once on, they can look at or surf the information and leave messages of their own.
I was at a friend's house and we were surfing through the internet pages. We saw a chap from Sweden selling some goods, and at the bottom he had a recommendation that a company in the United States was selling computers off very, very cheap. He had used them before, and if anyone else was interested, to give them a ring.
Hello. If anyone is looking for a Pentium machine, I can recommend this company. I have ordered from Business Systems on more than one occasion and have been very pleased with their service. They do ship overseas. I am in Sweden, and although it took a few extra days for my package to arrive, the service was great and the systems are extraordinary. Thank you. Patrick Olsen.
As the page in the internet suggested, we gave the company a ring. There was an answering machine at the other side saying they would get straight back to us. The very next day they did. And I asked the company to send me a catalogue through. They faxed it through that very night. We had a look through, and indeed the prices were very, very cheap.
Glynn Pout's colleagues thought so too. 5 of them also wanted to buy computers. The bulk order meant they could get a discount. Business Systems wanted a deposit of $5,000.
First of all, before I sent any money across to the United States, I rang the Better Business Bureau, which the states have to monitor businesses. I asked them if they had had any complaints about Business Systems in Topeka, Kansas. They replied, no.
Unfortunately, Glynn Pout couldn't protect his money by using a credit card. The company wouldn't accept it. So he arranged to wire the $5,000 deposit, that's £3,000, to a Western Union office in Florida.
Just so we knew that it wouldn't be anybody picking the money up, we negotiated a password so that the chap picking up the money had to say the password before he could actually take it away out of the office.
Password is BSDO914.
The money was picked up the very next morning, and so all it was a matter of waiting for the computers to arrive, which they said would take under 3 weeks.
Once Business Systems received the money, though, they stopped returning phone calls. 3 weeks later, there was no sign of the computers, and Glynn Pout and his colleagues realized they'd been swindled. Business Systems give an address in the Midwest state of Kansas, in the town of Topeka, at 19 Harrison Avenue. Watchdog asked a reporter from the local TV station KSHB to visit their offices.
We wanted to find out exactly where Business Systems was located, so we came here to Topeka, Kansas. But what we found wasn't Business Systems, it was an abandoned train yard, leading us to believe Business Systems never existed. In Topeka, I'm Alan Shope, 41 News.
The telephone number that Glynn Pout had for Business Systems turns out to be a voicemail that could be accessed from anywhere in the world. We went in search of Patrick Olsen, whose enthusiastic message triggered the whole thing, at the BBC Internet unit. The only contact we have for this Patrick Olsen is a number which we know connects to a computer in Sweden. Now, can you try and find him for us? No luck. Patrick Olsen's trail went cold. It was the computer equivalent of a false address. Patrick Olsen probably doesn't exist, but that internet message has been posted all over the world, and internet users had no reason to be suspicious. Chris Reed is a specialist in computer law at Queen Mary's College at the University of London.
A lot of people don't understand what the internet is. It's not any big global organization. It's a kind of co-op of computers and computer operators who've agreed to swap information that's addressed to the other. This means that there's nobody in charge, that there is nobody in control, that there is nobody who ultimately can take responsibility.